Hey guys, this just in, the 2020 Hyundai Sonata Limited. Now, the reason we're starting from outside the car this time is because I wanted to show you this. You see, this key fob has something very special in it. It has Smart Park. Yeah, that's right, Smart Park. Hyundai spent millions and millions of dollars on that commercial that you guys most likely saw at the Super Bowl.
He's got Smart Park!
They wanted to demonstrate this feature, and it's a really cool feature, especially for people who live in cities where they have to worry about tight parking. And I'm going to demonstrate that, and then later on we're going to hop in the car, take it for a little drive, and then we're going to hop out and we're going to do a walk around, talk about the engine, transmission, pricing. So we're going to do it all in this video, starting right now. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is make sure it's locked. And then I'm going to hold down the start button. Voila, it has started. Now, I want to back it out of this parking space. Here we go. Now you got to walk kind of close to it, or else it won't do it. So it's like walking the dog, they say. It's working. Okay, now right when I let go, it'll stop. Boom. Now here's the thing, see how it flashes? That means it's still active. And when I put it into forward, which we're going to back up and do that with, that means it's in gear when the light changes to white. And now it's figuring out how to turn. Now it's actually going to turn a little bit and maneuver itself in there. It can see the cameraman, so you can see a steering wheel's turning inside. It's doing it all on its own. I'm just holding down the button. I'm going to bring it all the way up to the garage door. And it stopped on its own. And you can hear the sensors inside the car freaking out because it's this close to the door, which is exactly what you want it to do, I guess. So once again, I'm going to go backwards so I can get in it easily. There it goes. I could do this all day. It's like owning an RC car. Now this is an interesting vehicle. First of all, a lot of automakers have stopped building sedans. I don't exactly know why. I know they're not as popular as they used to be, but they're really good cars when you put them together right. And this is a really good example of something that's been put together properly. We'll get to that in a minute. Don't look at me. Look at this, because look at this. That is a 10.25-inch screen. Obviously, you can touch it. That is an over 12-inch LCD screen. Impressive right off the bat. The materials that are used inside the Limited are up there with German rivals. I know you guys are thinking, come on, really? No, really. I mean, the actual touch quality of these materials is fantastic. The stitching looks great. The leather feels good. The seats are fantastic. I am really impressed with this interior. There is something that you should know. Watch this. I have my seatbelt off, and I'm going to go into reverse, and I'm going to accelerate, and absolutely nothing's happening. Nope. See that? Safety features. For the driver, you have to have the door closed, the trunk closed, and the seatbelt on. Now, the brake is released, I'm able to go. Some of you might find that annoying. It's a little bothersome to me as well. I mean, there are times when you're just trying to back out of a driveway, right? And you just want to go 5 feet and you don't want to put your damn seatbelt on. You have to put your seatbelt on in order for this car to move. So that's a little bit annoying, but it's also a really good safety feature, and it forces the driver to get into the habit of putting on the seatbelt. Now let's talk about the driver, because that's one thing about this car that is fascinating. It is extremely driver-centric. It's extraordinarily comfortable. It's fairly quiet. And altogether, this car rivals extremely expensive luxury vehicles from 10 years ago. and yet it's extremely affordable. We'll go into the pricing in a minute, but this whole area here, look down here, Qi charging, all the stuff you need over here to plug in with USB and whatnot. I am not a big fan of push button transmissions, and that's what this has right here. However, the way they've presented it is really good. It's a similar pod that they used on the Palisade, which is something I got used to as well. We are talking about a vehicle that's not really built for performance. We're talking about a vehicle that's built for comfort, luxury, and economy. It's exactly what this is. So I don't hate it. You know what I mean? On performance vehicles, yeah, I have a little bit of an issue with it. Something else I wanted to show you. Here it is. Giant sunroof. Oh yeah. We're not going to leave that open because it's really cold outside. It's like, 40 degrees, so having that blow in probably is not the greatest idea. But even with the sunroof, I have a really tall torso, and there's enough space for me. Roman sat here before, and he had plenty of space as well. Now, I do have my seat set at its slowest setting, but what I did notice is that even though I'm around 6'1", there's still a little bit of room for me to go back even further. So the comfort is pretty good. Check out the steering wheel. I love this. This design cue is part of the exterior design motif, which we'll go over in just a bit. The way they've got this integrated line going through here and the expensive feel of it all together, it's really impressive. I know this shouldn't be a car I should be that excited about. Some of you guys are going to say, it's a great rental car. Yeah, but you know what? There are people out there who really do want a high-quality vehicle that's comfortable, economical, and rewards them every time they get in it. And damn it, this car is that. I am beginning to understand why Roman was so impressed with this car when he went to the press event for it. Its launch event, he told me, was monumental because they were able to take a car that was so pedestrian and simple and make it something special. And I thought, really? A Sonata special? Yeah, they did some stuff that made it different. And different is important. Let's hop out and talk about the design and the engine, because those are two major things about this car that are absolutely worth covering. I'll meet you guys outside. Let's talk about the engine first. And that's because there is a hybrid that will be coming out, and it's going to be pretty impressive stuff. Roman and I actually covered that at the Chicago Auto Show, and that vehicle had, well, some pretty impressive numbers, and you can check that out on the TFLnow channel. This vehicle, however, has something else that's going on. First of all, have a look at that engine. That is a 1.6 liter turbo that puts out 180 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. It's hooked up to an 8-speed automatic transmission, obviously feeding the front wheels. Now, the thing about this engine that's so impressive is that it doesn't require anything special to get a combined 31 mpg, 27 city, 36 highway. That is pretty impressive considering that this car weighs around 3,200 pounds. And it's not a small car at all. Great power. Really good off the line. Really good passing power. Just a great engine. All right, let's talk about design, because that's what this car is all about. They've done something very different, and different is good sometimes. This is a design I have never seen before. They didn't steal this from anybody. This whole idea of having this accent line, which is active, go to this chrome, which goes all throughout the body, is interesting. And it folds into a very smooth exterior design that you could see from the front fender, and it works its way all the way throughout the vehicle to the back. Come on, let's see this. See this line I was talking about? Look at it. It curves up and around and comes back around. Very fluid. And yet, you have this. A continuation of the line, which floats to the back. Now, not everybody is thrilled about having these ventral fins, which are supposed to help with aerodynamics and stability. However, Hyundai did an interesting thing with them on top of this headlight. It's not something I've ever seen before. I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I'd rather have it here than on the roof, trying to make it look like a Evo from Mitsubishi. Now, it does have actual functional exhaust. Not everybody does. And it also has a massive trunk. Now, this is a Hyundai product, so that's how you open it. Look at that. It is huge. So did they do the right thing with this car by going for more money invested into a sedan? Other automakers, General Motors, BMW even, Mercedes-Benz, everybody's moving over to SUVs. Look at Ford. They're pretty much done with cars. But Hyundai, Kia, and Honda, among others, say, no, we're sticking with it. Not only that, we're putting more money into it to make them more interesting. And they managed to do that. One thing I wanted to show you. That back seat is extremely comfortable. Those are scalloped rear seats. The only downside to this back seat is the fact that if you have somebody sitting in the middle, they have a bit of a bump on their back. You can see it there, how it protrudes forward. Yeah, that might be the one design issue I have with this vehicle. Otherwise, my God, they've done a hell of a job with it. Let's talk about pricing. This vehicle starts at about $23,000. Now, bear in mind, that is for the base model. And this is not a base model, this is the limited. So, as it sits, the limited comes in at $34,365. Let me show you that on the Moroni right here. That may seem pretty expensive for a Hyundai product, but it's actually not when you consider what it gives you, the amount of tech it gives you for the money. That's actually really impressive. And guys, it drives so nicely. It is so comfortable on the road. I keep telling myself that this is an affordable vehicle, which it is. And yet, it's giving you such a pleasurable ride, such a comfortable place to be, and a high-tech environment at that. Very impressive stuff. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I certainly did. And I managed not to say smart park too often. You gotta give them credit. They actually made a commercial that everybody seems to remember, right? Thanks for joining me for the Fast Lane Car. This is Nathan. Don't forget to go to TFLcar.com for more news, views, real-world reviews, and more of this just in.